Hello, my name is Jeff Rolka. I want to thank you for checking out my video. I haven't done one of these in a very, very long time. And I must admit, I'm pretty excited about this. This is a Tools of the Trade video. But I'm actually going to combine a bunch of stuff into this video. I'm going to do a Tools of the Trade where I'm going to talk to you about ribbon microphones and show you a little bit about one. I am going to unbox it because I just got the thing. And I'm also going to do a very quick reference. So I'm going to use an SM57, which is a very, very typical microphone that you'll find in most home and certainly most pro studios. They're literally everywhere. Practically trip over them when you walk out my door. And I'm going to use that as a reference mic so you can get a sound of what an acoustic guitar sounds like through the SM57 and then with the ribbon mic. Before we get started though, I want to thank you if you've chosen to subscribe. Subscribing really helps the channel, and I hope that you will choose to do so now, especially if you haven't yet. If you have already, I thank you very much. So, what's a ribbon mic? Most of us are familiar with dynamic microphones and condenser microphones, but ribbon microphones, if you've heard of one, you may or may not have used one or are aware of them in general. Dynamic microphones are, you got a diaphragm, it's got a pin. The pin is situated between two magnetic coils. When sound waves hit the diaphragm, the pin vibrates in the coils, electrical signal gets created, sound is transmitted. Condensers work on a variety of different principles, but usually, well, in all cases, there is a charged capsule. That is why they require 48-volt phantom power. And that capsule can be an inert gas that is charged within the, usually like a 0.03 micron thin diaphragm. Sound waves hit this charged capsule, electrical signals get created, get sent down the wire. Very, very, very sensitive. Ribbon microphones have a ribbon in them. It's usually, again, a few microns thick. Historically, they were very, very delicate. Even turning on phantom power when you had your ribbon microphone plugged into it could destroy it. I don't think that's the case any longer. I'm certainly going to be very, very careful about it here. I would recommend that if you did decide to get a ribbon mic, and there are a variety out there to choose from, that you read all of your manufacturer's specifications before you do anything like that. There are some devices that you can put in between your mic and your preamps or your mixing console in the event that 48-volt phantom power should get engaged erroneously, that it could protect the microphone. Now, Royer is a name that is nearly synonymous with ribbon microphone technology. But these mics tend to be pretty expensive. Now, in the grand scheme of things for a microphone, they're about average. They're what you would expect to pay for a really high quality professional microphone. But they've recently also come out with the Royer R-10. And this is designed to be used in the home and pro audio studio, but the price point is much, much less. Now, there are lots of ribbon microphone manufacturers that are out there now, and I chose to go with Royer based upon their history, the technology that I would imagine would go into producing this microphone as it went into the historical 121. That is very, very common and a beautiful sounding microphone. But I felt there was a build quality that I could rely upon, and also the specifications of the R-10 really suited the variety of applications that I wanted to address. So, you know, the 121, the Royer 121, probably has a much more even overall tonal response as opposed to an AEA R84. The AEA R84 is another manufacturer, another ribbon microphone. That one has a bit more of a classic kind of ribbon sound to it. It's a little bit duller in the upper mid-range and the upper range, a little bit fuller down low, but still very present throughout the different registers. And while it'd be nice to have one of each for any given application, specifically I want something that sounds really good on acoustic guitars, because that's a big part of my own personal compositions, but would have a little bit of flexibility too for other applications, particularly piano. And on top of all that, I wanted something that would be able to withstand a really high SPL, sound pressure level. Now, ribbon microphones, they like all microphones, they vary widely in the SPLs they can take. Some as low as 135, others, such as this one, as high as 165. And this is particularly important if you want to get that smooth sounding, distorted electric guitar miking really, really close to the amp. And that is something that this microphone is supposed to be particularly well suited to. Now, I'm not going to demonstrate the electric guitar today, but I'm going to do an A-B with the SM57 and the Royer M10 on an acoustic guitar. But first, a word about how I got this mic. I got it from Zen Pro Audio. This is not an advertisement. I am not sponsored. There's no affiliations here or anything like that. But I mention this because microphones can be expensive, and it's nice if you can get a deal. But I'm also very wary about deals with microphones too. Buying used is sort of like buying used glass if you're a photographer. Sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes you've just bought something that you can't use at all. So in the past, I've bought a lot of used equipment, particularly if I've been able to test it out. That's a little bit better than just buying it blind. In this case, though, between it being a ribbon microphone, which has a history of being more delicate, and not really knowing that much about ribbon microphones, I didn't want to buy entirely used sight unseen. But what I was able to do was get an open box deal. The advantages here is that you usually get a really nice price reduction, but you also get the manufacturer's warranty as well as the warranty of the company from whom you purchased it from. And this is a nice way to get a little bit more of a deal on a microphone without having to worry about getting a dud. So let's open up this thing and start listening to it. First thing is that it's nice to see that it comes in a really nice, durable aluminum case. It's hard-sided. Everything looks really good. It doesn't, I mean, I know it was an open box. I guess it doesn't come with a cardboard outside box, but whatever. I mean, for all intents and purposes, it looks brand new, which is nice. Here we have the mount, pretty basic kind of mount. And, ooh, nearly dropped it. There's the microphone, the Royer M10. Excuse me, R-10, not an M10. And quite frankly, for an open box, it doesn't it looks absolutely perfect and brand new. So let's get a reference. Oh, it's got a little mic cozy here, so you can slide it in there. Really neat looking microphones, a nice like cylindrical shape. Put that in there, it keeps the dust off of it, even says Royer. All right, so let's set this aside for a moment. In truth, this isn't the most controlled of experimental tests. It's really just to get an idea of what the thing sounds like. So here, I've got an SM57. I'm going through a Neve 5012 Portico series preamplifier into a Black Lion Audio modified Digi 002 rack that goes into Reaper. And I'm going to mute my microphone here so that that doesn't bleed onto the track as well. And I'm just going to play some chords for a few moments there so you can get a sense of what this thing sounds like, the 57. And then I'll switch over to the Royer. Okay, so now I've got the Royer up, and I actually expected to have to turn the gain up on the preamp a lot more than what I've done here, but it's really not too bad at all. I'll again mute my microphone here, this mic, so that you get only the guitar through the Royer. I also remember too that these ribbons they're a polar 8 pattern on these ribbons, so it picks up a lot on the front and a lot on the back, and it rejects most of what's on the sides. And the two different aspects of the ribbon, the front and back, tend to tune them a little bit differently. So what I'll do here is I'll play the front side of the ribbon, and then I'll spin the mic, and you can hear the back side too. So this is the Royer R-10 front side of the ribbon. And here's the back side of the ribbon. One of the main things about ribbon microphones is that the sound waves that are created by our voices, they can be great for vocals, and acoustic instruments tend to go down the ribbon like a wave, much in the same way that our ears hear these things. And so they're meant to produce a very, very natural reproduction of the sound that you heard. And this is becoming increasingly important to me in the music that I'm writing and trying to record and doing all that. I want this very natural, in-the-room kind of sound to the recordings. And that's why I ultimately decided to pick one of these up. If you have any questions or would like other types of demonstrations with this microphone, let me know and I'll see if I can cut a video to supplement this one. My name's Jeff. Take really good care of your voices. Enjoy singing. Enjoy recording. And hopefully I'll hear from you again or see you again. Bye.